Hi guys, welcome back to this African Perspective. So the videos we're going to be checking out are actually Americans talking about life in America and what they think about it. So these are just them giving their points, and some of these videos are actually talking about the things we are actually dealing with worldwide. This is something that pertains to everywhere, where we know that the economy in most countries is actually like in shambles, and some people actually have so much complaints about how their governments are not there for the people and they're not assisting them even when they complain. And then the lifestyle and how things are when it pertains to taxes, different type of life, and the quality of life, social life, and so on. So we're going to be checking out this video and see what these people have to say and what their thoughts are. And before we get right into this video, please make sure you click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Liking this video actually helps with the algorithm, and I really appreciate that so much. Let's get right into this video.
I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna take all accountability for people getting mad. But Americans are not as broke as they say they are. Now, I get there are people that's really out here struggling in the thick of it, but it's not as many as they say they are. The amount of money that we spend on stupid stuff is ridiculous. The amount of money that we spend that absolutely makes no sense. We ain't as broke as we say we are. Until I start seeing block after block of fast food chains shutting down due to the lack of foot traffic and not the lack of employees, we ain't as broke as we say we are. We ain't as broke as we say we are when we spend thousands of dollars on prom. Not weddings, a prom. I see the brokest people in the flyest cars. I see the brokest people buying homes. Until Nike says we don't have enough people buying Jordans, I'm not buying the fact that y'all broke. Until I see places like Jamaica, who rely on about 80 to 90% of money coming from tourists, shut down, I don't believe y'all. So the next time one of my cousins call me talking about some, man, cuz I'm broke, man, I've been eating ramen noodles for the past 6 months. I just checked your feed and you was in Jamaica, fam. So I'm just going to tell most Americans, stop the cap. Because all of these Fortune 500 companies see what we spend most of our money on. Because the stats just say inflation went up. It don't say that we broke, because I keep seeing people going on trips to Jamaica that they can't afford.
As Americans, we've removed everything we actually need in daily life, like exercise, talking to friends, connecting with people, spending time with our kids. We've taken all of the naturally occurring things out of life and made it so that those things can only be achieved by a therapy session, by an activity that we have to pay for. There's not many places, neighborhoods, and cities where it's super easy to walk everywhere, where you can get a lot of natural exercise, whether it's walking to and from your house or to the grocery stores. This just doesn't exist for most people now. So you have to wake up early or on your lunch break or after work. You have to go to the gym so you can get in your exercise. Talking, like, people are meant to just talk nonstop, but now we live like really isolated. And then when you are talking, you're probably at work and you're in your professional mode. But people are meant to share their struggles, their stories, everyday thing constantly all the time. And we're not doing that. And what do you see happening? Nowadays, everybody needs a therapist. Yes, therapy is needed for some things, but most people just need to be talking to people way more. And I don't mean like trolling on the internet. Kids stuff. There used to be kids running around neighborhoods all the time. Parents didn't have to pay all this extra money to do activities so that their kids can be involved in things. Parents didn't have to drive all over the place. No, they opened their door and there was kids everywhere. But now that doesn't exist. So we do need to pay for activities. We need to do special things. We need to be driving our kids all around. Eating healthy food in America is a part-time job, if not a full-time job, between trying to find the right food, reading all the labels, understanding, reteaching what minerals and herbs and all these natural things in earth that help us. It would all be so much easier if we just had healthy food in general. The point is, when things don't happen naturally in your day and you need to take extra energy to achieve basic things like healthy food, exercise, talking to friends, which helps regulate emotions and things like that, when you have to build those into therapy sessions, exercise sessions, hobbies, reading 17 books, of course you'll be tired.
So a couple of people tagged me in this video and we gotta watch it. What $80 gets you in Japan. I didn't even know Japan could get you any kind of living space for $80 a month. But let's find out. I'm very intrigued by this.
This is what $80 gets you in Japan. Subsidized housing edition. So this is my entrance area. And please ignore the moss. I don't know how to stop that. This is my
Okay, interesting entrance. I like the chrome door. I didn't expect that, but let's continue.
So, right when you open the door, you are greeted with a cat. It comes, please ignore this. It comes with, a sink, and we got a bathroom that's separated, sorry, I got the light. That's separated from everything else. When you open this door, you get the kitchen. Please excuse the mess, okay? I just wanted to show you. Where's the remote? You already know I hate the big light because I gotta think. I was gonna change the bowl, but this makes it less bright. Okay, I know it looks trashy. You open this area, you get kind of like the living room. I don't know what you call it in Japan. Is it still called a living room? I bet it's not. Living room area. I don't really use. It's more like my cat's area. Hello.
Okay, I mean, for 80 bucks, I would totally take this for 80 bucks. You know how much money you could save? Pretty interesting so far. Let's see what else this place has to offer. I'm honestly very intrigued. I did not expect this much for $80 US a month.
They gave me, by the way. So, I mean, can't really complain. It's pretty cheap. It's pretty damn cheap. I gotta do laundry real quick, so let's just go ahead and do that.
Bro, I mean, it comes with everything. Like, literally everything. And it has a second floor? Oh, we gotta see this.
Long ass staircase. There's no railings like in America, so you just gotta have to like get used to either monster crawling up the stairs or what. Here's my spare room. Hi. I do not use. I'm scared to open this. There's no spiders, right? I've lately been dealing with spiders, but hey, watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Nosy. We got some more storage up here. We got a balcony that I don't really use, just because there's no need to use the balcony. And then when you open this door, you get my room. Excuse the bloody mess right now, okay? It's everywhere. But anyways, that's what, 80 bucks?
I take it. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I mean, you have everything. I think there's nothing to complain about here, honestly. I think this is perfectly fine for 80 bucks a month. Drop it down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think.
After watching this guy's video, it was so funny because a lot of people kept saying, oh my god, like, I can't believe he's telling us to excuse him for the mess that he has. Like, quite excused. Why would you even say we should excuse you? Because the price you're paying is really low. And of course, like, we are even expecting to see something worse, but you have a very good place. And it's like, a lot of Americans were like, do you know how much, like, I can pay the rent up front? Like, I can pay 3 years up front with the price compared to how much I'm paying for my apartment monthly. And they're like, hey, like, I could even buy up the house. Like, it's like, it's so funny because that is so true. I'm sure a lot of Americans, with the money that they pay for rent all the time, they'll be able to buy up their house. They'll be able to pay up maybe about 5 years up front from their paycheck. And yeah, so many people are actually like, hey, I just wish I could actually be earning, you know, like earning money from America, maybe working a remote job and then live in such countries and get to live the lifestyle, a more cheaper lifestyle, cheaper cost of living with like a more higher money, because then they'll feel like, oh, the quality of life will be great for them. And that is absolutely true. But these days, getting those remote jobs are actually even very difficult. Okay, getting the ones that let you work from anywhere around the world, because most of these remote jobs will literally tell you, hey, you can just, you know, be in some certain states.
I just saw a video and it wouldn't let me stitch it, but this girl was talking about how the U.S. passport just went from being the 6th most powerful passport to being 39th. And now there are certain countries that require us to apply for or purchase a travel visa in order to enter. They know that Americans are about to scatter like roaches. Americans are about to be the immigrants that they constantly complain about. They can't, things are so bad here. They can't trust us to want to go back home. I don't blame them. They gotta put themselves first. The downfall of America goes crazy.
When I said America was ghetto and I never want to go back to live there, people were coming for me. They were like, give up your passport, blah, blah, blah. It's actually so embarrassing to be American nowadays. Like, people are laughing at America hard. You pay taxes. Almost 60% of your paycheck goes to taxes. Do you get free health care? Is it clean in America? Is it safe? No. Do you know where your tax money goes to? It goes abroad. It goes to Israel. It goes to Ukraine. It goes to a TikTok ban. You're paying taxes to people who do not give a damn about you. I will never go back. Like, I might visit my family, but I will never live there again.
Hear me out. I really feel like the new American dream should be us getting with a group of friends, our tribe, our family. We get a piece of land. We off-grid that hoe. We homestead that bitch. We solar power everything. We grow our own food. I feel like that's the goal right now. Like, fuck paying $1,800 for 1 bedroom rent. You raising everything but the wages. You're poisoning our food. Inflation is real. Taxes is crazy. Like, it's just not adding up no more. You get what I'm saying? Like, shit just not making sense. And I'm not the only one to feel like that. So I feel like if we all collectively do the same shit, they wouldn't know what to do. They need us more than we need them. And I'm tired of living like this. This is a rat race. This shit is depressing, and they want us to be depressed. We supposed to be high vibrational, and they know that. So they're doing everything in their power to keep us from vibing high. I think it's time to disconnect, but that's just me.
The real trap of capitalism is that you're working so hard that you want to live alone. The thought of living with your family, the thought of living with a bunch of other people is so exhausting to even entertain that notion. You need your peace, you need your quiet, you need your isolation so that you can have your morning routine, your night routine. You don't want to cook with someone else talking to you in the kitchen. You don't have any energy left over. So to afford this lifestyle, you work more and more and more. And the more you work, the more isolation you crave. And therefore, the more expensive your requirements become. Whereas if you worked half the hours, you might have double the energy and be able to live with double the people and pay half the rent. You might find you no longer need such a rigorous morning and night routine. You no longer need so much peace, so much quiet, so much isolation, and you don't even need as much money. Obviously, this is such a simple way to view this. When I was working full time, all I wanted was to live alone. Anyone speaking to me when I got home made me so frustrated because I was just so deeply burnt out. I always thought that my personal freedom lied in making more money, and while in one sense it does, in another sense it also doesn't.
People in West Africa are starting to live better than people in the Western world. Now, I'm not talking about everybody, but I'm talking about if you're well-to-do, if you're doing pretty good in your life, it's better to be doing really well in Africa than it is to be in America. Now, I'm currently in America, and it's like a little bit of a culture shock coming back from Africa, because when you come here, you're around people who, on paper, they're very successful, rich, and all that. But all these people are drowning in debt. They got a nice car, but they don't own it. They've got a lease on it. They may say that they own a house, but they kind of do, but they have a huge mortgage on it. But in Africa, people own everything outright. And what does this lead to, like, in day-to-day life? Well, when you know someone who's well-to-do in Africa, they're a lot more relaxed. They feel like they can go on trips with you. They're a lot more generous. People here, even though they may have a lot of money on paper in America, the second they let their foot off the gas, the second they stop hustling, those bills will catch up on them really quick. And it shows, like, kind of why I feel West Africa is the future, because here people are putting up an appearance of being rich, well-to-do, but it's fueled by debt, and it's fueled by them working 2 jobs. Husband and wife are both working high-paying jobs, 50 hours a week each, and doing all of that to just create this facade. Whereas in West Africa, once these guys have made it, they're living good lives. They're having that balance in life, and they're not killing themselves. So I think long-term, who am I betting on? I'm betting on the lifestyle of West Africa.
So listening to a lot of people actually complain about the economy and everything pertaining inflation, which I have actually heard a lot of people from other countries, different countries around the world actually complain about how the quality of life has changed and how cost of living is really high. So it's then made me realize that most people are complaining. Yeah, we could be like, oh, hey, these are the reasons why these things are actually happening when it comes to the cost of living. But one thing I realized, which is a pattern to most countries, is that the governments really do not really care about the citizens a lot. Like, because most times when they get in power, I notice that these governments do not say, hey, like, let us make sure we pay attention to what our citizens are there, like what they want from us. They're not listening to our needs. They're not listening to what we want to be done. And then it's like, I'm like, oh, so this is like a pattern that happens almost everywhere, because why is there not like a lot of countries where this government are actually focused on what their citizens want. Because it's like, if people are voting you into power, or that if they are the ones voting you into power, shouldn't you be there to actually serve them, meaning you work? So if we have governments that actually have the mindset that, oh, we are serving these people and we're not just there ruling over them, because then it's now the vibe and the power, the energy I'm receiving, or things I'm saying with the government, is they actually believe that they are ruling over people, or they're actually ruling over people. And it's not about, oh, let me come and give service to these people. So it's like, why is that even accepted to be like a normal thing that should be happening?
Y'all, the United States is so basura. So we all remember the bridge collapse that happened in Baltimore weeks ago, many weeks ago. Do y'all know that the boat is still there and that the crew that was on the boat is still on the boat? One of the main reasons being because they don't have visas. So 20 of the crew members are from India and 1 is from Sri Lanka. And because of whatever dumb paperwork, they cannot get off of this boat. Oh no, but wait, it gets worse. Because the federal booty investigation is allegedly investigating this, they took these people's phones, so they have not had any contact with the outside world. Not their family, not their loved ones, nobody. This article from the BBC says the crew remained on board even as authorities used small explosive charges to deliberately cut an expanse of the bridge lying on the ship's bow. And the U.S. Coast Guard Admiral said they're part of the ship. They are necessary to keep the ship staffed and operational. I cannot, for the life of me, understand, with Baltimore being as close to Washington, D.C. as it is, that they cannot get whatever authorities is necessary and translators to allow these people to at least call their family. What are these people eating? Are we talking boycotts? Oh, I got somewhere to start.
The more I cook from scratch and eat at home and raise my own food, the more I realize that the food system is a complete scam. For example, I made yogurt last night, and you want to know what's in this yogurt? Milk, and I had to add a little bit of yogurt to get it started, but I won't have to buy yogurt anymore. Milk and yogurt. Or, for example, granola that just has nuts and seeds and maple syrup and coconut oil and chia seeds, and not high fructose corn syrup and all the other preservative crap. Or this mayo that is a few ingredients and has no bad oils like canola or anything that would inflame my body. Or this freaking gallon of kombucha that is so cheap, so easy to make, and will be so good for my gut. Or this freaking bread that has 6 ingredients in it, and it tastes so good. All of that to say is, it's a scam, and we don't have to accept it. Good food takes time. Good food is slow, and it's delicious, and it's medicine to your body, not junk. Okay, bye.
So y'all want to know what I just realized about all the legislation that's being passed? Literally all of it is to stop a revolution. We got the 702 bill, which allows them to go through our text messages and make sure we're not colluding with foreign adversaries, but they're also looking for words like revolution. We have the bill that stops us if there's more than 1 million people talking about one topic or assembling. It's illegal, which isn't even the right term because they're passing statutes and regulations. They're not passing laws. Banning TikTok because TikTok is our only access to uncensored information. We get to see people on the fucking ground where the shit is happening, telling us what's actually happening. So the story that they spinning doesn't work anymore. Nobody's going to the news outlets. Nobody's looking at the newspaper because we all see that it's propaganda now. So do you know what that tells me? That either we're about to find out something that they have been doing that directly affects us, which is literally every fucking thing that they've been doing, or they're about to do something so drastic that it's going to cause for us to uprise. Now, it could have something to do with that guy burning himself alive in front of the Trump trial in New York. He was basically saying they're running a Ponzi scheme, allegedly using Bitcoin. So you're putting your money into Bitcoin. They're going on the back end and taking your money out. So eventually Bitcoin cryptocurrency is going to crash because there's no money in it. Now, that doesn't surprise me because they are doing the same thing with our retirement plans, with our 401ks, and the trust funds that half of us don't know that we got. The CS, the KV trust. So that would be on brand. And again, all of this is allegedly. Besides the fact that it's a fucking stick up and half of us ain't even paying attention, what else do you think that they could be doing that would cause us to stand up? Because they're worried about a million of us standing up. What could they possibly be doing? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
I hope I can say this respectfully, but after 10 years in Mexico, and then I come back to the United States, I am deeply concerned about what I see as a psychological discomfort that is so obvious in comparison to Mexico. People from the United States can be the best, kindest, most responsible people, but a large majority look like they're just losing it. The last couple of days I've risked it and I've asked people, when I said good afternoon to you or hello, why, if you don't mind me asking, did you just pull away and turn your back? One said, I just want to be left alone. That's fine. Thank you for answering my question. The one that I thought was most interesting was the Mexicana. When I asked her why she got defensive and kind of turned her back to me, she was really honest and sweet. She said, you know, in Mexico, people, they see you in trouble, they help. Here in the United States, they see you in trouble, they try to find a reason to look away. She said, in Mexico, everyone can look different in one family, but here in the United States, everything's racialized. And the pressure, like here in Orange County, California, the pressure of always being alone, you just zone out. And I think we see a real issue here in the United States, that it's gonna snap soon or it's gonna get fixed. Because there's no way you can have this much pressure, this much solidarity, this much being alone and make it. And I feel really sorry for people, because there are people outside of the United States who people from the United States look down on, and they're living their best lives. They may eat only beans and rice, but they're happy. They may only eat noodles, but they're happy. And if you say hello to them, they will say hello. They will turn their whole body to you, and they will say, it's so good to see you. Have a great day. They'll even start talking to you. They'll want to get to know you. That wanting to get to know you after you say hi to somebody here in the United States, unheard of. Completely unheard of. Again, I love my country. But I'm sorry, I feel sorry for the sadness and the tension, the loneliness and the fear that I see in so many people.
Have the capability to buy up acres of land and actually have to grow their own food, be people that want to live off of trying to do stuff from scratch. Those people, it's actually a very big flex, and it is so good to live that kind of lifestyle, because of course, I mean, it's just such a flex. It's not easy to actually have grow your own food. It's definitely not easy. It's a hard work that takes patience, but at the same time, it is really great to do that. Sometimes it fails, sometimes it's good, but having food, sometimes when things go wrong, you never know when things could go wrong in life. Could be famine, could be anything. It's such a flex to have that, even though I think you might actually have to fight to keep people off of your land. But anyways, it's really good. And also having a community life, a social life where people actually come together to support each other. It will people who, if you have those kind of community of life, it is way better, where everybody is there to support each other. And that would have, I think if we had a lot of that in the world, the world would be a so much better place to live in, because the way people could actually go so far, if you can imagine how far you could go and do well in life, if only you had so much support, if only you had everybody just ready to help you and make sure that you're good. By all means, when you lack something, you're starving, you cannot even starve, because people around you will definitely be there to support you. As little as you guys have, you guys bring it together and support each other. That would be really great, which I know at the end of the day, most of all these things that we're saying could just be imagination, because when will it happen? When everybody is living off of division, most people cannot even stay in one room and last long for some hours without actually breaking into a fight. Or the lifestyle of you learning to just be by yourself, where everybody tell you be by yourself, and most people are actually living by themselves, being by themselves, but they are so lonely. Their life sucks, where you hear situations where people actually die and pass away by themselves and stay so long in the house, nobody even knows that they've passed away. Honestly, the most people that spend a lot of money like on a daily life are actually people who are broke. Like, they don't have a lot of money, and that is the reason why they are broke, because most times we spend so much money on things that we really do not need. And sometimes, majority of the time, there's a video where a person asked a question. I was like, you need to think about it. Do you want it for you, or do you want it to show people that you have it? And that is the life that most people are living. They're living the life where they need to show people and prove to people that, hey, I have this thing, I have this. Like, and it's like, generally, you know, you don't really want that thing. You don't even need it, but you are wanting that thing because you want to show it off to someone, or you just feel like, oh, I need to do this. Majority of the time, people that actually have money and are rich do not spend money on unnecessary things. People who are like trying to invest money into making something off of themselves, they do not spend money on useless things. They make sure that their money, as soon as like they keep spending and spending. And this same this quote that someone said, hey, like, you're not rich until you're sleeping and actually making money. When you go to bed and sleep at night, your money is counting. But if all you do is just take your money and keep spending it, and you're not making money while you sleep, then you just know that you're just like normal. Like, it's either you're normal or you're poor or you're broke. There's just something going on there that is just not going to lead you to riches. And a lot of people need to really learn to like say no to some things, spending money on some stuff that are actually not going to bring you money, spending money on things that are not your needs, because most people do not know the difference between needs and wants, and there need to be some regulation. But I mean, at the same time, if spending a lot of money on things that you feel like are just, you know, extravagant, makes you happy, and that is the lifestyle you want to live, you don't have the dream or hope of actually like good money, be wealthy, if you don't have intentions of that, then go ahead and do what you want, because at the end of the day, we all have different thoughts on what we want to do. We all have different ways, different things we want. Some people absolutely do not want to have anything later in life. They just want to be, you know, let me just enjoy, live life for now, and whatever happens later.